Hello and welcome back again to another session of Late Night Games. We're once again playing Shogun 2 Total War with Dave. Where we left off last time, I had taken over a clan territory of one of my enemies, and then swiftly gotten taken back over, allowing them to take the territory back. Not really much progress there on my part, with the exception that I did force them to use up some of their battles and units and resources to get that all done. I lost just as many armies though, so I really didn't make myself any better for the wear moving in on their territory. Dave has successfully taken over his greatest foe and now has 2 territories and is building up a small empire's sum of money with all the trading routes he's putting in place. So Dave is in a pretty good position. Me, myself, I'm at risk of potentially getting wiped out if the Mamari or whatever they were counterattack. I can't remember who I was facing. Something with an M. Well, let's get started and we'll go from there.
Yes, let us start.
We are on the 8th turn of the game.
Again, the turns are based on seasons, so there are 4 seasons for the year.
We have
until
year 3.
15. Year 3? Yeah, beginning of year 3, I guess.
Or the end of year 2, one or the other.
Something like that.
My math is fail.
Yes. For those of you who aren't aware, it's late night games for me, but it's actually first thing in the morning games for Paul.
As I mentioned before, for us to coordinate, we do have to have a little bit of a time zone gap here.
Yeah, it's 16 hours difference in North American winter. So it's currently 3 o'clock in the morning here, and 11 o'clock in the morning the day before in Paul's neck of the woods.
Dave's from the future.
Yeah, man.
What's
awesome
the future
here.
like?
There's a shortage of chairs.
Oh no. What are we going to do if we have a chair shortage in the future? Once the chair shortage hits North America, where are all the North Americans going to sit while they're eating their McDonald's?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Anyways, back to the game now that we've loaded up. So it is Dave's turn, which is where we left off. As Dave is the host, he does save on his turn. So let's get a little overview of his territories. He's got Owari and Mikawa, and he's got Trading Port, and he's got horse stables, and it's all pretty and nice. Yeah, that's a good territory he's got there.
It is quite. I'm trading with pretty much everyone around me, but I'm currently the vassal of the Imagawa clan to the east of my home province there.
Right, I completely forgot that currently you are basically a slave to the Imagawa.
That's correct. They're taking a bit of my income, and I can't attack anyone who is not their enemy. Presently, anyways. So for now, I'm just going to move my armies into my castle and finish off my turn.
The trading routes that Dave has in place, you can actually see... Oh, eager to serve, my lord, the son of one of your most loyal subjects, a fine warrior, I am told, desires to prove his worth to you in the clan. As such, he requires the opportunity to lead your glorious forces in battle. So either I can allow him to serve, which will cost me 1,000 koku. An army needs leadership. If it is... I just had that disappear. And it automatically selected to use it because I had the 1,000 koku disappear. Alright. From now on, I'm not going to sit there reading. I am just going to explain it after I choose. Either way, I now have a new general in Iwate, which is good because I did kind of lose my general when I was fighting in Ugo. So here is my new general. He has improved melee, which is nice. What was I constructing here when we left off? I got my new farms in place. I can't upgrade these things without some research, however, on the Art of War. I have my stronghold, My food is fairly equal. I'm not gaining or losing. I have my castle town, which will allow me to recruit ninjas. I'm going to recruit a ninja.
Where darkness meets the shadow, there dwells the ninja. Saboteur and assassin, happy to do their lord's bidding.
My suggestion would also be to recruit some armies for your general to take with him on his conquests.
That's true. I currently have 2 katana samurai and 2 bow ashigaru, but that's not going to be enough to actually fight my foes. So I'll recruit 1 more katana samurai, a yari ashigaru, and a bow ashigaru, which will be his primary army. That does use up a large amount of my income, but what you gonna do? And I also have these 2 boats to the north. I'm gonna send them off to this trading post and see what we are dealing with here. No one is at the trading post. Very nice. Can I build trading boats yet? No, I need to upgrade my trading port, my harbor to a trading port, which is currently in progress. It'll be done in 2 turns, but I'm going to hold my boats here at this trading port until I have the opportunity to move forward. Just to make sure no one else has it.
That being said, I've already actually built 2 trading ships, but I was actually planning on going for the ones in the far west of the map. Getting the trading ports early is a good way to secure some guaranteed income, and it also increases your worth to other clans in trade, because you'll get some of the goods that are needed.
And there's no one else I can currently engage in trading with. The Megami, that's who I am at war with. The Megami.
It's not to be confused with origami, which can be quite good as well. Not quite as threatening, though.
And I'm going to end my turn, as there is not much else for me to do here.
And we're just waiting here on
the AI to
all
take
the
their
AI.
turn.
Yep.
There's the Imagawa getting into position around you. And the Wacko Pirates.
They are a little bit wacko. Oh, the Kizo clan have decided to stop trading with me. Oh, that would be because they were completely destroyed by the Takeda when the Takeda took their turn. That's the big red one in the sort of center. That would be the Takeda clan.
It makes sense that when a clan is destroyed, they will no longer wish to, trade with you, as they don't exist.
Yeah, maybe I could trade with the remnants of the clan or something like that. It's a possibility anyways. So I'm just going into my diplomacy. Since the Kizo clan are no longer trading with me, and I've now encountered the Takeda clan, I'm going to see if they will trade with me. And
Also, sorry, go ahead, Dave.
sorry, apparently they are willing to trade with me, so I'm just going to see if I can get some money out of them for it as well. Go ahead, Paul.
Now, I was just going to say that currently we do have a schedule of our episode releases, both on Facebook and on our YouTube homepage. We are going to be upping the frequency of the Shogun 2 Total War releases to, instead of just being on Mondays, we'll be releasing them Mondays and Wednesdays for the upcoming future, as Dave and I have been able to get enough game time in to get enough footage for you guys to release at a more regular schedule. So we'll no longer be doing these episodes just once per week.
Which is good, more entertainment for you. Sorry it's a little bit dry so far, but we're just getting back into the swing of things.
Not only that, but, you can't always have excitement while taking over an entire country.
That's right, there's a lot of things to consider, such as funding and whatnot.
It's like a game of chess. Each move is important as the last, but not seeming so until the very end.
Not seeming so, yes. Not until the very end. When we reign supreme, hopefully. We'll see how we go, though. Alright.
Ugo clan, you will be mine. Oh yes, you will be mine. Province, not clan. Province. Ugo province.
Yeah, you may be able to get something out of that.
Cat, please don't attack Mr. Colbert. He's done nothing to you. There's no reason... I see why she's so interested in Mr. Colbert today. Just so everyone knows, I have a portrait of Stephen Colbert here in the living room where we're playing. And since it is morning, the light is coming through the window in the living room, striking my glass of morning beverage, and that is causing a small reflection to jiggle about from the surface tension of the fluid on my Stephen Colbert poster, portrait thing. And the cat is staring at it because whenever there's a glowing light shined onto a wall, she wants to jump at it and attack it. It's like a laser pointer, but bigger and less focused.
And a little bit less fun because you can't make the cat run into the wall. Not that I'm mean to cats or anything, but it is quite funny to send cats after things with a laser pointer.
Still not as bad as James Hogan used to kick cats off balconies.
That's, yeah, you shouldn't have used his whole name. Somebody might start a hate site about him or something like that.
It's all good. It's an ongoing joke. He doesn't actually kick cats off of balconies. And you do realize how common of a name that is.
Very true. But James is the type of guy that if there was a website dedicated to hating him for chasing cats,
he'd find it.
He'd find it.
And he'd cry. He'd cry sadly.
I don't think he would cry. I think he would get angry with you, Paul.
Weep gently into the night. And then he'd say, oh, fuck. I used to mess with that man so much. Like the time that I took his keyboard at work. Where I used to work, I was the IT guy. And there were a few people that worked there that I liked to play games with because, well, I knew I could get away with, and it was fun to see them laugh. There were people who did not normally laugh, but I could usually get them laughing. And in one case, I had taken all the keys on his keyboard and mirrored them. So the P key and the Q key got swapped, the O and the W got swapped, etc., etc. Not only that, but I wrote a new keyboard driver for his computer, like a new language setting, where the Q key typed P and the O key typed W, etc. So this newly rearranged keyboard, when you pressed a letter that was on the keyboard, it actually typed that letter properly. So he had to use this backward setting keyboard to properly type that day. He was not pleased. He was touch typing, he goes to touch type, and everything comes out gibberish. He's like, what's going on? And he looks at his keyboard and presses a button and realizes it's working the way it's listed. James. He just came up to my office, slammed the keyboard on my desk. He's like, fix it, Paul. Now. Fix it.
I'm supposing you just changed the language setting back and gave him a new keyboard.
Yep.
Oh, poor James. Although that must have been quite a lot of fun.
There was also this one time when I used a remote desktop tool to mirror his computer, and I was just on observe mode, and I had a couple minutes free, like I was on my lunch break, so I just enabled keyboard mouse control and start shaking his mouse and typing letters randomly, and then I stop and disable keyboard mouse control. And then I wait a few minutes, and I do it again, and I stop. So he's sitting there, and he's typing away and browsing away, and suddenly his mouse takes over and goes out of control. Or I would just turn his keyboard and mouse off as well, so he would be in the middle of doing something, his mouse would suddenly stop moving, and then by the time I turn it back on, he's at that point waving the mouse wildly, slamming it into the desk. So he calls me and to my desk phone. He's like, Paul, my computer's broken. It's possessed. It's acting as though like 1 second it's going crazy, the next second I can't control it at all, and it just does nothing, and then it starts working again. I'm like, all right, well, what are you doing at the time? Like, what do you have running? Maybe do you have too many things going on? Maybe is your controls getting caught in some kind of lag loop? Like, what's going on here? He's like, I don't know, man. This is just crazy. Just can you come down and take a look? I'm like, I'm actually in the middle of a meeting on the other line, so I can't come down. But if this is still going on in like an hour or so, let me know. And I continue through the day, randomly disabling and enabling his keyboard and mouse control, and by the end of it, he comes into my office, storms is like, Paul, this is driving me crazy. I can't work. This is going nuts. It's getting worse as the time goes on. What the hell is going on? And this is when he has stormed into my office, is looking at me face to face, and I couldn't hold it in anymore. Like, when he called, I could keep a straight face. When he walked into the room, I just busted into laughter and said, James, your computer's fine. It's been me all along. And he just busted into laughter. It was great.
Oh, that would have been a lot of fun. It also would have been kind of fun to, I don't know, just take over and type random messages to him, like, James, this is God speaking, you're doing the wrong thing, something along those lines. But yeah, definitely good.
And your turn has run out, Dave.
Yeah, I let you talk and just let it run out.
That was my pleasant anecdote of the weekend.
Oh, I'm sure you have many, many more.
Our relationship with the Hatakeyama clan has broke down, and trade is cancelled.
Huh. That's not a good thing.
My Date has, or my Daimo has acquired the trait Eye for the Ladies. Women are a pleasure in life. -7 to campaign movement range for all units under this men's control. That's not a good one to have.
Yeah, when you idle your generals, they do tend to develop traits such as that, which is why it's important to try to keep them active, even if you just put them to lay an ambush in a forest nearby your capital or something like that.
I have also discovered the Tutsui. The Kizo have been destroyed, and I've recruited a Yari Ashigaru. I am going to
pointy stick.
Upgrade my trails to roads, which increase movement speed and increases the replenishment rate of units in my province. I am also going to grab my general, 2 Katana Samurai. Why is it not letting me select multiple units? Dave, what key do I... There we go, shift.
Or control.
And move my army out, leaving my capital fairly undefended, but it will get redefended soon enough, as soon as units are built. I will have my ninja assist with the army as a scout.
What that does is it improves the distance that they can see, and it helps to suss out ambushes prior to being ambushed, obviously. It also helps protect the general against assassinations from enemy ninja, and helps to prevent the ability of monks to demoralize the army.
Will you enter a trading agreement with me, Hatakeyama? Why are... No? No deal? Okay.
So if you go to the main diplomacy screen, you can see what factors are actually affecting your relationship with a given clan just by hovering over their sort of long rectangle of a name.
Yep. Currently the thing they don't like is that our trade agreement is broken, but they broke it. Past friendship is giving a plus, territorial expansion is a negative, so the fact that I expanded my territory when it's the same size, they are not pleased with. Now, who are the new people I came into? The Tutsui. Clan commands respect. They are indifferent towards me, but I'm not able to trade with them as there's no route. The only people that there is a possible route is the Hatakeyama and the Megami don't like me, so that's not happening. Next turn, however, I will have my trade port open and people will be able to move about. I'm going to check my Mastery of the Arts. Currently I'm learning the way of the bow, which will help me in battle. It will give me fire arrows, so I can slew forth rain of flame upon them.
Yes. I did come into quite a bit of money making my initial trade agreements, and as a result, my next action will make a lot of sense to you guys. Actually, sorry, my action on at the beginning of the next term. The Hatakeyama have actually decided not to trade with me anymore as well. Which is a little bit surprising, but maybe it's because I'm allied to Paul and they don't like Paul. I'm not sure what it is actually, but
I didn't do nothing to piss them off. I mean, the only negatives I have is a -18 because the trade agreement was broken, and a -1 for expansion, and I haven't expanded. Well, I did, but then I immediately contracted. It wasn't so much of an expansion as a just stretching out and pendiculating.
So I'm just moving one army. Next turn I'll have some boats. In the meantime, I'm moving to the trade port to the west, and hopefully nobody will have taken it by the time I get there.
That's quite to the far west, Dave.
It's quite a ways to go, yep, but I can trust my sailors to make it there, I believe.
And if you can reinforce one of them, the rest of them are close enough that you can probably reinforce all of them. The only downside is they'll all have one route to your homeland, so your all those trade ports can be blockaded at a single choke point.
True and not true. They could attack the trade routes, but they couldn't actually attack both ports at the same time. So they wouldn't be able to block all of it, but they would be able to take some of my income from it.
Quartermaster report. Built a Katana Samurai and a Bow Ashigaru in my capital, as I expected. Trading port complete. The sea road is wide and leads everywhere. And the Otomo have been destroyed. I will now recruit trade boats. Okay.
You can have up to 10 trade boats per trade port. I think we said that before. And Paul is currently guarding his.
And I will
he'll be able to get some quality iron from that as well. Go ahead, sorry about that.
I'm also going to leave my units in my country because it is fall and next turn is winter, and while I could push further forward, I'm not going to. Now that I have a trade port, I have opened up additional trade options, such as, Dave, if you would like, can we request some trade?
To receive you. It is always
make the offer and I'll see what I can do for you.
You're offering me a payment? Or your demand? That is very kind of you.
I did come into the windfall at the beginning of the game, though, so a little bit.
I said yes. Oh, I hit make counter proposal. My bad.
That's all right.
I counter proposed the same thing.
And now it looks more like you demanded the money from me, but that's all right.
And to the diplomacy screen, let's see who else I can talk to, convince. As I only have the one trading port, I can only actually engage in naval trade with one territory right now, which is Dave's. But now that I've become a trade partner with Dave, that will increase my koku rate of increase, my clan income. And you can see the trade route denoted by this little yellow line. And this is the trade route that I mentioned can be blockaded. Anyone parks a ship on this little yellow line who's at war with you, And they will be, in a sense, attacking the trade ships along that route, taking your money. And that's my money.
Correct. The other thing they can do is completely blockade your port. While they don't get any money for that, the income from any trade routes going to that port will be reduced to 0. And you can't get any ships that are docked at port out when it's blockaded as well.
Which makes it difficult to defend, because you can't counterattack on a blockaded port. How goes your preparations for your freedom from the Imagawa?
I'm actually planning on attacking them this turn.
Nice.
But I don't know if you just noticed, they did actually just move a large army into their capital.
I did notice.
Alright. I was waiting for 2 things, and they're both done now. I have 2 boats to add to my navy, and I believe that's how I'm going to start the war. By attacking
His trade.
their ship.
Ah, they're boats.
Now, for the sake of naval battles, anytime I have any kind of an advantage, I will be auto-resolving.
Dave is not a fan of watching the naval battles. They can be quite slow and tedious.
They can be quite. If it's an even match, which it isn't, but if it was an even match I would fight it, but it would probably be best to fast forward it. They're pretty self-explanatory, the naval battles.
He just retreated into your port.
That's correct, which puts me in an awkward position, but that's okay.
He best not be attacking my trade routes or I declare war to him. Stopping me from making my money.
Now the Hojo and the Takeda have actually joined him in the battle against me, so it's going to be a very tough uphill struggle from here.
That it will be. And this is where we see Dave run into his new struggle. Me, I haven't really had much struggle. I've just been fighting for territory in the north, somewhat secluded from the rest of Japan.
Alright, just tying off a few loose ends, and then we'll give Paul his turn.
Which by this turn my trade ship should be complete, so I can go and engage in my trade ports.
Unarmed ships should be used solely for trade. If caught up in battle, its best plan of attack is flight.
And it just announced my trade ships being built. My clan adopted Christianity, the Shogun clan. Now that's where religion comes into play. As I mentioned, those who adopt Christianity now, their clans will become Christian, their territories will be Christian, and when taking them over there will be religious turmoil until they are converted back to Shinto Buddhism. My son has been born. I have a new child.
Congratulations!
I've encountered the Chosobake. I've also encountered the Miyoshi. And my roads have been completed. Okay. Grab my trading boats and move to the trading port. Which they will not get there until next turn, but at least they are on their way. I can upgrade this to a military port if I wanted to go for naval superiority, but that's not really my intent here. I'm not going to upgrade anything else in my town, but I am going to recruit a few more units to defend my home, because right now I've got, like, nada. I'll suffer a little bit of entropy. I'll head towards Ugo. I should be at Ugo for my next turn. And Ugo will once again fall beneath me.
Yes. At least we hope.
That's the idea. Well, this is a new brave general who demanded 1,000 koku to be enlisted. This is my way of making him prove his worth. He either goes and brings me back the head of those in Ugo, or he allows his men to bring back his own head.
The Imagawa were smarter than I thought they would be. I had laid an ambush for them, but they decided not to take the bait. Looks like the Miyoshi are attacking you.
Huh, and they have an advantage. They have a bow Kyoba, and all I have is my trade ship. They're attacking my trade ships? Come on. Retreating.
I think that's a good call there. You might suffer some attrition, but it shouldn't be too bad.
And I'll make sure to take him out with my actual boats that are nearby, because he's only got a single bow Kyoba.
Bokaboya?
Kaboya, yes.
Kyoba. I find when reading Japanese words in English,
I appear to be dyslexically Japanese.
Well, even the Hatakeyama I thought were the Hakeyatama for the longest time. So I think it's something that's common. Maybe there's an article on the internet about it. Maybe not. Who knows?
It's not our native tongue. It makes sense that we'd pronounce things incorrectly from time to time. Especially, well, as I said, it's not our native tongue. I mean, I can't pronounce most of the names in French properly either. And I grew up here in Canada, where French is one of the national languages. I took it through all grade school, and I still can't pronounce half the things I know in French.
Can't quite reach him this turn. Okay. Just gonna auto-resolve this naval battle. Natal battle, that'd be interesting.
As long as it's not prenatal.
Even still, newborn babies fighting each other. That would be quite interesting.
I think they have a video of that on the internet.
They have pretty much everything. They have this on the internet. They have pretty much everything.
That's true. I think it's a baby dressed in yellow fighting a monkey, if I'm correct. And the baby's dressed like in the yellow suit, similar to the one worn in Kill Bill. Oh, internet, how everything exists on you.
Is there anything you can't do, internet?
Whilst moving through enemy territory, our forces uncovered a cache of military supplies. It's been transported back to our provinces. Negative 25% to the cost of recruiting land units across all provinces for the next 4 turns. Nice.
It's always good to come across a cache of weapons while you're at war with somebody. Wonder if in the same respect his costs are increased because you've taken his secret weapons from him.
That would be kind of awesome.
I agree.
Meanwhile, I am having my army recruit units. What that means is the units will be recruited and then immediately march themselves to meet with the army as soon as they are ready.
Note that that does take quite a bit of time.
As much time as it would take the unit to normally walk there.
Yep.
I'm going to auto-resolve this. Take out those boats who tried to attack my trade ships. I not only defeated him, but I also captured his unit. I will send my trade ships back. And my additional trade ship that was built, because not all of them were built on one turn, will also make its way. I can't quite establish the trade route until next turn. It was just too far away. I'll have my navy head in to join to prevent anyone from trying to another sneak attack Mr. Megami. Grr.
Mr. Megami, why does that ring a bell?
Because it sounds like Mr. Miyaki.
Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah.
Maybe.
He's got quite the army here. He's got 3 units of bow samurai, 3 Yuri Ashigaru, samurai retainers, and his general, versus my 2 katana samurai, my Yuri Ashigaru, and my 2 bow units. I am simply going to continue the siege, forcing him to either come out and fight me, or lose stuff.
Yeah, if you can wait him out, you can actually starve out the armies holed up in the castle and take it without actually doing any battle. However, the Hanma are attacking them as well. The Hanma originate in the little island near the curve. It's difficult to describe where it is. It's the only province.
It's the Sado province.
Yes.
Yes. Which we'll zoom in on here, if the camera stops moving to the nearest active units. The fact that they're being attacked by someone I don't know means that they will be weakened, and then I will take them. The Sado Island coast is one of the only provinces that has a specific material. I can't remember what that material is.
Gold.
Gold, okay. So getting trade agreements with them is great, but you can only trade with them navally at the beginning because they start with no land. They start on an island. I'm liking that we have 2 different armies both attacking these guys at once. Two turns until surrender. The Hanma army, what do they got since they're right next to it? They're a fairly large army. So I can either let them attack and then take on whoever remains. But if the Hanma are who remain, I'll have to go to war with Hanma. Then I'll be at war with 2 different clans. I just like the fact I have catapults built all around the town firing little cannonballs inward.
Little pint-sized cannonballs.
Pew, pew, pew. I am definitely the lesser of armies here, but I have the ninja, and the ninja are the secret to all battle. Not really. Ninja are actually quite useless in actual battle, except they can stealth, which is handy, allowing you to infiltrate a castle and disable its gates without being spotted sometimes, not often. I see Dave sitting outside of Imagawa.
I'm laying an ambush. I do actually have a good shot at beating them in the battle, but I prefer to stack the odds in my favor just in case.
my brother has become of age. He is now ready to fight. And I have completed the way of the bow. I am now studying the strategy of defense. I'm going to change what I'm studying to instead study Todofuken, which allows me for the rice exchange, port roads and stations, and will eventually unlock equal fields, which will build up my farming capability. Which is the reason I'm researching that. I will also go to clan management and see who I can make generals. I have my one general, who I am going to make my commissioner for... I'm going to make my brother my commissioner for... finance? Commissioner for finance. And my general will be my commissioner for warfare, as my prior commissioner for warfare did die in a previous battle. Do I want to attack? I'll just keep the siege going, but I will take my ninja unit out. Have him come out. And a ninja can attack without declaring war. I'm going to assassinate... No, I'm not going to assassinate because it's only a 21% success chance. And a 36% chance of sabotaging the army. What if I go to the base? Is there anything I can do there? I need to get better. No, I want to attack the city. Can you not ninja a city that you are currently sieging? I guess not. It's not letting me. I'm going to try sabotaging the army. It'll cost me 450 koku to attempt. It's led by the daimyo, and I got a 36% chance of success. Sabotage failed. Somehow managed to escape with my life.
And now they know there's a ninja in their midst.
But they don't know it's mine. And that's the key. Send my next trade ship in. Send the one that's nearby to the trading port to actually establish trade. Send you in to join. I have now acquired superior iron. And I will have these naval boats actually retreat back to the trading post to resupply and repair, because they are heavily damaged and most of their units are down. That does leave my trade routes undefended, but I don't think Megami's going to be sending many boats up north when he's got the Homna at his doorstep. Alright, and we're actually going to save the game on Dave's next turn and call it an end to this session, as it has been about 40 to 45 minutes. Don't want to keep these videos going too long.
Yeah, so again, thanks for watching. Not the most exciting of episodes. We promise some battles within the next episode for sure, though.
Well, we can't promise that for sure. I mean, things could go horrible and all our units could develop some sort of, like, cyber plague and all just vanish. Oh, look at that. I don't get my to wait until Dave's next turn, as the Hattori the Megami are attacking me from siege. And they are so weakened from the siege that I have the definitive advantage.
Not to mention the Hanma will back you up.
Will they?
Yes, they will.
Alright, I have a chance of victory if I fight manually. I'll fight manually. They're attacking me, so I'm going to lay in a defensive position with my archers forward and loose fire down on their faces.
I flame your face. Flame it, I say flame.
Burn, burn, baby, burn! I love that Japanese artwork of a horse. He just looks so... It's like he's looking at that arrow coming for his face. It's like, oh dear God, no!
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 That was awesome. Do it again.
No! Do not hit me! Really, the rest of the artwork is difficult to make out behind the loading screen as to what's happening to who, but the horse, he's just right there.
With an arrow to the face.
Alrighty, let's get myself into a good position to start. So, there's a hill here behind me.
I would suggest trying to take the top of that eastern hill.
The one that's directly ahead of me?
Yes.
I was thinking have my unit fall back and take the hill that's directly to the southeast.
It is more forested.
It's more forested, and he'll have to fatigue himself a lot more to get to me. Is the idea.
It is the idea, yeah. And the Hanma will come in from directly behind you. They might be so delayed, depending on what the game decides. I'm not really sure what factors decide how long it takes.
They may also decide not to help me.
They may. But since you're not at war with them, they can't attack you within a battle.
Which is fair. I don't know, Dave, what do you think of my starting position? Got my bows spread out directly in the forest, near the top of the hill, with my spearmen in behind, ready to charge through, 2 units of samurai, and my daimyo sitting kindly in behind. My general sitting kindly in behind.
I think it's a good idea. I'm not sure if you've done this on purpose, but your katana samurai to the east are not hidden, and he may just charge directly for them, giving you the distinct advantage of him getting rained on by arrows probably before he's prepared.
That was the idea.
And I see you've opened up the ranks of your forward archers as well, which is definitely a good thing as well.
All my archers. I only have the 2 units.
Yeah.
Alright, let's let him move himself in. He'll be fatigued by the time he gets here, and it looks like the Hanma are coming from behind. From behind.
They're doing it in the back.
What in the butt?
That video should have never been viral. What in my butt? What in my butt?
It doesn't look like he's moving. Oh, here he comes. And I only see his 1 unit. Oh, there's the rest of his army. He's moving them in a single formation, straight across the hills, at a decent pace. My guys are just kind of chilling, waiting for him. And the Hanma are coming in. And you know what? I'll just let them push through. If they want to push through and engage him, that's fine. If they want to lose units in this fight, all the power to them.
The beauty of it is, if he wins the battle, when it becomes your turn again,
I can just march into the castle.
That's correct.
And then he has to get out of the territory or declare war on me.
Provided, of course, he doesn't get his turn before you get your next one. I can't remember which order they were in.
As he slowly moves his way across, Hanma is getting himself into a defensive position. moving his massive army through mine. It's like watching a color guard formation. Except there's a lot more shoving. Hanma looks like he's going to make a critical mistake and try and meet him in a ravine when Megami's coming over a hill. I'm
Not the
fast
brilliant
forward a little
tactician
bit
I thought
and
he was.
see what's going on here. Let them at least engage each other. They're both starting to climb the hill at about the same time, but the ravine side of the hill is on the side that Hanma's on, so it's going to make it harder for him to climb. He'll have to climb around on the west side, which he is sending his general around. I may be a great warlord, but I'm also an opportunist. I see an opportunity to let someone else fight, and me just sit back and reap the rewards, and that's what I'm going to do. They are meeting on top of the hill, but it does look like he managed to get his general around to the south, or to the west, and he's pulling in from behind. Bow meets spear, and spear. These samurai bow and spear and cavalry are just moving around on their own up here. The enemies, Hanma's main forces are engaging his Yuriyashigaru, being rained on by arrows.
Our ally has fallen to the enemy, my lord! A terrible loss!
Not that I care. I'm not particularly fond of the Hanma. They're in my way. The more units they lose, the easier it'll be for me to take the castle. And they're all just dangerously fighting just outside of my archer range.
The beautiful thing about this is I think the Hanma are going to lose their portion of this battle, but they're going to leave the Megami
Fairly weakened.
fairly weakened and pretty easy to win against.
Yep. If nothing else, the Megami will be exhausted from fighting already.
Now, if I were leading this battle, I would just
My lord,
push forward
their
just a little
general
bit.
has fallen! A cutting blow!
But it actually looks like the Megami are losing now.
They did have the advantage at the beginning, but Hanma's numbers just outdid them.
My lord, a glorious victory will soon be yours!
Close victory. That was probably the easiest battle I've ever fought. I got into position and I lied in wait. And that's it. Something smells burning.
I hope it's not your PC.
No, it doesn't smell like PC burning, but it smells weird. I think my cat might have farted. In which case, kitten, I gotta change your kitten food. It's a little too spicy.
And on that note, folks, we will see you in the next episode of Late Night Games.
Alright, everyone, so as Dave said, this is now going to be the end. He had just saved the game. We will be ending this play session for today. thank you once again for tuning in. If you like what you're seeing here, go ahead and hit the like button. As well, you can subscribe to us to keep up to date on all our latest releases. Check us out on Facebook or on Twitter as well. On Facebook, we do tend to have polls to determine what games we'll be playing next. The most recent poll did select I Am Alive as a new game to play, so check that out when it is released, the first episode is already out at this point. And beyond that, if there's anything you have to say, comments, creative criticism, anything along those lines, please leave it in the comments section below. Thank you very much for watching.